Okay, so what is Amazon playing at? In case you missed it, Amazon has started putting ads on Prime Video. Now this isn't anything new, other streaming services already had their own ad-supported tiers for a while, but Amazon was particularly skeezy in how they went about it. Ad-supported tiers on other streaming services were introduced as like cheaper options for people who don't mind the ads and want to save a few bucks. Amazon didn't do that. Instead, they made the standard Prime tier that everyone already has ad-supported, and then said, oh, you can pay us an extra $3 a month for the privilege of removing the ads again. People were understandably annoyed at this. Streaming services already feel like they're on the decline, in quality at least. There's oversaturation, price hikes, general subscription fatigue, everyone's favourite shows getting cancelled, and just general shitty practices that have all taken the shine off the cable killer. And I think it's fair to say we're at the end of the golden age of streaming. There are rumblings that Peacock and Paramount are looking to merge because, to be frank, neither service has enough stuff on its own to be a real contender. And now Disney, Hulu and Max just announced a big combo bundle, which looks like great value, but it's all beginning to look a lot like cable. Which brings me back to, what is Amazon playing at? Nobody has Prime for Prime Video, do they? Like, I'm not just living in a weird bubble here, am I? We all have it for the free shipping, right? Thanks, Jeff. Kind of weird of you to hand deliver that, but sure, whatever.
No doubt. Absolutely, no doubt.
Don't get me wrong, Prime Video is a lovely little bonus to get with my free shipping. No, it's okay, Jeff. You don't have to you can stop now. But yeah, if it had to stand on its own feet against the likes of Disney Plus and Netflix, Prime Video wouldn't stand a chance. There are some good shows on Prime, obviously. The Boys is fantastic. Reach is alright. Stuff like The Expanse, Invincible's pretty good. I'm not saying there's not decent stuff on there, but compared to the other streaming services, it's comfortably sitting in last place for me. Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Paramount, HBO Max.
Hey, whoa, hey, buddy. We've dropped the HBO branding. It's just Max now.
Okay, one, nobody cares. Who do you think you are, Twitter? And B, what are you doing in my house? Get out!
Whoa, take it easy. I'm going.
Sorry about that. But yeah, everyone beats the crap out of Amazon when it comes to original stuff, is what I'm saying. Hell, even Apple TV, which was a joke a few years ago, is kicking out better stuff than Prime these days. It's got shows like Ted Lasso, Foundation, For All Mankind. And that's always been kind of fine. Prime can get away with being a bit crappy because none of us are actually paying for it. We're paying for the free shipping, and Prime Video is just the deal sweetener, the little sprinkles on top of the donut. So when you make that sweetener worse, when you give us like 3 fucking sprinkles on the donut, you're pushing a bigger question onto your subscribers. Is Prime worth it anymore? Amazon doesn't give exact subscriber numbers, but in 2021 they confirmed to shareholders that it had over 200 million subscribers worldwide. More recent estimates by market research firms put them at around 230 million, and over 3/4 of them are based in the US. So that's what, 170 million Amazon Prime subscribers in the USA? That's over half the population. So it has to be worth it, right? I mean, over half the population can't be wrong. Stupid Americans. In America, Prime costs $14.99 a month or $140 a year. Here in the UK, it's actually a bit cheaper. We pay $8.99 a month or £95 a year. It's roughly equivalent to $120 a year. The benefits are mostly the same for both sides of the pond though. You get Prime Video, free shipping, and some other stuff no one cares about. Okay, that's not fair. There is some decent stuff in there. The monthly Twitch sub is a nice thing. You can skip the ads on your favourite streamer, send a few Bezos bucks their way. But I mean, outside of that, the rest of it's just padding. Is anyone using Amazon Photos? Had you even heard of Amazon Photos before I just mentioned it? Don't lie, no you hadn't. There's also Amazon Prime Music, which is fine. It's a halfway house between the premium and free versions of Amazon Music. But for it to be really worthwhile, you're going to need to upgrade to Unlimited for another 10, insert local currency here. Outside of some dedicated playlists, you've still got limited skips and you've got a limited library. And also, Spotify exists, Apple Music exists, so no thanks Amazon. Stop trying to make Amazon Music happen.
It's not going to happen.
On the gamer front, there's Amazon Gaming. You get access to a few games for free, but the library is tiny and limited to mostly just old games. There's also a game streaming service called Luna, but as Google Stadia already showed, nobody wants to buy full-price games to stream them. You can subscribe to Luna Plus for an extra £9, $10 a month to get access to their full selection of games, but it still pales in comparison to something like Xbox Game Pass, which costs the same every month. And again, it's another cost bolted on. Prime is just giving you a taster. You gotta double your monthly Amazon spend to actually get the service. I'm a massive gamer. And I've never even glanced at Amazon Gaming, so I can't imagine the wider public gives a crap either. Amazon also owns Whole Foods, and you get slightly better deals there if you have Prime. You still have to pay extra for delivery though. Again, seeing the pattern, most of the extra Prime benefits just feel like demos for other products they have. Hey, Ian from the future here. I realised while I was editing this video that I'd forgot to talk about Morrison's. They're the UK supermarket that Amazon has a deal with. I forgot to talk about them because they suck, to be honest. Nobody shops there unless they have to. They're just really expensive. Amazon has a deal with them and you get free delivery. You're still better off shopping basically anywhere else. Okay, back to past Ian. What else is there? Oh yeah, let's talk about Prime Day. Prime Day is a day where we remember Optimus Prime's heroic sacrifice to save humanity from the Decepticons. Sorry, I've just been handed something. It says here that my joke is bad and I should feel bad, so let's move on. Prime Day is Amazon's subscriber-exclusive shopping event. They run a massive sale several times a year with deals that only Prime members can access. Essentially used to be a once-a-year thing, but they've started adding other Prime Days throughout the year, with names like Prime Early Access and Prime Day 2 Electric Boogaloo. I made that one up. My background is in e-commerce, which means it's usually my job to promote deals to the readers of the websites I'm writing for, so that those sites can make a little money through affiliate links. And let me tell you, sifting through the mountains of shit Prime Day deals, trying to find anything worth talking about, it's always a nightmare. There's always a couple of flashy deals to get people onto the site, but the vast majority of it is just stock clearance. You know, stuff nobody wanted at full price, so they're trying to shift it with some smoke and mirrors. Ooh, an extra 10% off a USB cable, exclusive to Prime members. Nobody cares. There are online sales events throughout the year, stuff like Black Friday, and almost none of them require you to sign up to a service to get the deals. So once again, Prime Day's fine, you know, if you have Prime, cool. But it's rarely worth signing up just for the deals. So let's come back to Prime Video, the thing that kicked off this whole tumble down the rabbit hole. I already kind of covered that I think it's a nice to have, but not a real contender in the streaming space. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, they all blow it out of the water, which is shocking given how long Amazon's been doing this and how much money they've thrown at it. Prime Video's been around since 2006. Like, yeah, they only started making original stuff in 2013. That's still over a decade of making shows, and they've got so little to show for it. Their original content could be generously described as hit and miss, mostly miss. I've already said I think The Boys and Invincible are great. In fact, between those two and Gen V, the spin-off show, Amazon's really cornered the market on like gritty superhero shows where people explode into jam. But outside of that, it's mainly mediocre to bad. They spent a ton of money on Wheel of Time, and nobody cared. Rings of Power was pretty mid. And like browsing through their library, there's a lot of stuff on there that's just kind of Like I'd watch it if it was on, but I'm not seeking it out. They've got The Expanse, which, yeah, they cheated and bought that off Sci-Fi, but whatever, they've got The Expanse. They've got Marvelous Miss Maisel, The Man in the High Castle. Like, there are certainly worse ways to binge away a weekend, but outside The Boys, there's just not really anything on there I'd go out of my way to watch. Is what the script originally said when I started working on this video, before Todd Howard and Bethesda decided to waltz in and ruin my video. In case you missed it, Fallout Show dropped on Prime recently, and it's really good. Like, worth watching, for sure. If you have Prime, go watch Fallout. If you don't have Prime, and you're interested, you know, you played the games, you like the vibe, think it looks cool, grab a free trial, grab a month of Prime, and go watch it. There are some other interesting shows in the works too, like I'm sure you've guessed by looking at me, but big time nerd, I play Warhammer, so I'm going to be all over Henry Cavill's Warhammer thing that he's working on when that eventually comes out. There's also the Tomb Raider show they announced recently, which could be cool, and a Yakuza thing coming later this year. But it still comes down to like, there's 1 or 2 things a year worth watching. I'm not going to be watching Prime every week. I'm not even going to be watching it every month. Also, and this really isn't important, but have you noticed that Amazon doesn't actually create anything new? Look at all these shows. Fallout, The Boys, Rings of Power, Wheel of Time, Tomb Raider, Yakuza, Warhammer. They're all existing franchises, and most of them are pretty big ones too. Amazon Video is just kind of like Amazon itself. It monetizes things other people have already created. They don't really create anything themselves. Prime Video's issues aren't just a lack of good shows though. The UI sucks. It's gotten a bit better. The tried and true strategy of copying Netflix's homework means we have stuff like auto preview now. The homepage is badly designed. It uses space really poorly. You can't see many options without scrolling, and it has this weird habit of showing you the same stuff in multiple boxes at once. And if you're using a web browser version, you still have to use Amazon's main search bar to find shows, which is fucking wild. Amazon's search is dreadful. They must know this. Jeff, just make a dedicated Prime search bar. Come on, please, I'm begging you.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt.
Guy's unhinged. Amazon seems to know it has a weak homegrown lineup too, because they don't have an originals section on the homepage. Instead, they have this originals and exclusives section, which is usually padded out with other stuff they've bought in, not the shows and movies that they actually make, and like just bad stuff too. Sure, John Wick 4, pretty sweet. But bragging to me that you're the only streaming service dumb enough to pay for Expendables 4 isn't the home run you seem to think it is. And now, even when you do get to a show worth watching, you're still gonna have to suffer through ads to watch it. You've got pre-roll ads, mid-episode ads, and the mid-episode ads aren't put in like cleverly at all. They just randomly drop in mid-scene, completely ruining the flow of whatever you're watching. There is one big upside to Prime Video that I want to mention, in interests of fairness. Alongside the stuff that your subscription unlocks, you also can rent and buy movies and shows through Prime Video, even if they're not included in your subscription. That's a nice touch. It means you're not stuck in that weird void where like you search for Star Wars on Netflix and it just goes, eh. They're saying, no, we don't have it, but like we can go to the store and get it for you if you'd like. That's cool. I love that. The flip side of this, though, is that Prime Video does show you stuff on the homepage that you don't actually have access to, which is annoying. You know, I'm paying for Prime. Show me the stuff I can watch, not the stuff I can pay you more money to watch. If I search for something specific and you don't have it, cool. Then you can try and upsell me. Right, what else is there? Jeff, I swear to God. Just... No, you're right. I forgot, I'm sorry. Movies and TV aren't the only things that you can watch on Prime these days. They've also got sports.
Football,
Tennis,
Amazon has been slowly draping its tentacles over the world of live sports for the past few years. The big one they have in the US is Thursday Night Football. You get live NFL games every Thursday during the season. We have an equivalent over here in the UK. We get a handful of Premier League football, soccer games. I'm not getting into that argument now. For years into the rise of streaming, live sports was kind of TV's big trump card. Yeah, you could watch reruns of Friends on Netflix, but if you wanted to see the big game, you had to go crawling back to TV. It's just not really the case anymore. Personally, I'm not much of a sports guy outside of pro wrestling. So, putting my bias on the table. I might be undervaluing the sports stuff, but at least here in the UK, there are just so many better ways to watch football. And it seems to be the same in the US. Yeah, Amazon has Thursday nights locked down with an exclusive deal, but that's what, 15 games a season? You get access to way more football on something like Hulu. So again, live sports joins all these other mini perks in the nice to have, but it's not making me sign up for Amazon Prime camp, which means it's finally time to address the actual reason that everyone has Amazon Prime. Jeff, buddy, come on. What are you doing? Within fast, free shipping, I feel like the bit most people really care about is the free, right? I know I feel like a primal rage whenever I have to pay for shipping. It just feels like bad value. even though you're literally getting a person to bring you a thing from many miles away and drop it off at your house. I just resent paying for shipping, and I think most people are the same, and yet offer me a subscription that includes free shipping. And all of a sudden, free shipping on Amazon Prime just feels like great value. You pay a yearly subscription, $140, £95, whatever currency you use. With shipping costs on Amazon, you only need to buy a few things for it to be worth it, right? How much is shipping on Amazon these days anyway? Well here, Amazon plays its favourite trick of not fucking telling you anywhere. If you're logged in with Prime, you just see free shipping with Prime. And if you're logged out, you're told, oh, you need to create an account to find out. So I set up a fake Amazon account that doesn't have Prime, and the answer is, they still won't tell me. They're now hiding the delivery costs behind a little sign that says, your first delivery is free. Just tell me what it costs, Jeff. Anyway, sod it. I'm ordering something as my alter ego, just so I can pass this speed bump. Right, what do I need? Ooh, SodaStream. I have always wanted one of those, and they're on offer. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Wait a minute. Did you already have this? How did you get it so quickly? I don't know. Well, we got a SodaStream. Cool. Now I can finally see what Amazon charges for standard delivery, and it doesn't exist. You just can't get standard delivery on orders under £25. Premium delivery is the only option, and while costs for that vary a bit, it's generally around £5. I'm going to assume $5 in the US too. Let me know if I'm wrong there. It was tough enough to figure this out for my own country. I'm going to need the fucking guy from the Da Vinci Code in here to help me crack another nation's pricing. So yeah, it's about $5 to get something delivered on Amazon. But let's go back a second. Standard delivery doesn't exist on orders under £25. Okay, what about orders over £25? Aha! You've activated my trap card! Amazon has a free delivery threshold for all customers. Just spend over the required amount and delivery is free. In the UK, it's £25. In the US, it was $25, but they bumped it up to $35 last year, presumably just to make Prime look like a better deal. Also, on top of that, you get free shipping on any orders that include £10 or $10 worth of books, if you're a nerd. So yeah, any orders above the amount, free delivery. So even if you're not signed up to Prime, any medium or large purchases you make on Amazon will have free shipping. And even for the smaller purchases, you can just group several items together until the total cost reaches that amount, and boom, free shipping. So Amazon delivery, if you've only got it for the free part, is really only worth it if you're buying lots of little things all the time. With this knowledge in hand, there's only one thing for it. It's time for a spreadsheet. I decided to track every Amazon purchase I made in 2023 to see A, how much bloody money I spend on that site, and B, what kind of purchases I make and how often I actually make use of Prime's free shipping. In 2023, I ordered a grand total of 61 things from Amazon at a total cost of £2,232.78. First of all, ouch. I knew the number was going to be high, but actually seeing it written down sucks. And secondly, let's dig a little bit deeper into those numbers. I've grouped items together by colour if they were made as one order. Not super important. What is important is that those 61 items were bought in 33 separate orders, of which only 14 would actually have cost me anything for delivery. Now that's not looking too bad for Prime at first glance. If each item had cost me £5 for shipping, that would have cost me £70 total. That's most of the costs of Prime covered right there. But that's not the whole story. A lot of these orders are tantalizingly close to £25. Look at this fucking laptop stand, $24.99. Absolute piss take. And if I didn't have Prime, I'd have bundled it with another thing I needed to reach that free shipping threshold, or even just buy something dirt cheap to nudge it over the £25 mark and get free shipping. Like, you can get a SIM card for 10 pence if you need to nudge something over a line. The other issue is that having Amazon Prime, you end up just kind of using it in a way that seems to justify having it. Do you get what I mean? I'll explain. When you know that you don't need to pay for shipping, you just end up buying things on a whim. You order shit you don't need on an impulse. But even when you do need stuff, you don't shop intelligently because you don't need to. Yeah, look at these 4 things I ordered in August. I ordered all of them in the same week. could have easily grouped them together and hit that £25 mark. But I didn't, because I didn't need to. Once you eliminate all these orders that could have easily got free shipping anyway, that Prime value that we looked at earlier starts to drop real fast. I think the truth is that it's the convenience that we're buying with Prime. It's not that the free shipping is a good deal, it's that we don't need to think about shipping or ordering over a certain amount. We're paying them so we can be lazy. And that's fine, I'm super lazy. This video's taken me months to put together, largely because I'm a lazy piece of shit, so I get it. But if I just bought Prime on the months where I needed it, even without bundling any orders together, I'd have still come out way ahead of where I did by subscribing for a whole year. To be clear, Amazon Prime shipping is fast. It's usually next day, and in some areas you can even get same-day delivery, which is pretty wild. There are some caveats to that though. You have to live in a qualifying area, and big surprise, Amazon doesn't have a list of qualifying areas, so you need to answer the fucking riddles of the Sphinx to figure out if you're going to be eligible. But basically, do you live in a major city? Yes? Cool. Good odds that you can get same-day delivery. If not, tough luck. But even if you're not getting it the same day, you're usually getting your order the next day. And that's pretty fast, right? There's no denying that. If you're ordering a lot of stuff and you need it quickly, Prime is a no-brainer. Disregard this video. Obviously, keep watching. Don't tank my viewing metrics. But you can just go make a cup of coffee or something, right? But for everyone else, have a look back at your order history. Do you really need most of the stuff on the same day or even the next day? Like, I think I'd have been okay waiting a couple of days for Mansions of Madness. And also, non-Prime delivery is still pretty damn quick. That SodaStream from earlier threatened me with a 3-day delivery when I ordered it, but it turned up basically the next day anyway. So yeah, unless you're turbo ordering a bunch of small stuff that you need immediately, Prime delivery is not all it's cracked up to be. There's also something else to address when talking about Prime and just kind of Amazon in general. Jeff, for this next bit, buddy, maybe step outside. Go sit on your yacht. Amazon, morally speaking, sucks. This isn't unique to Amazon. Shitty behavior is commonplace in big corporations, but few of them have such a stranglehold on the Western world as Amazon, and their scale means they just get to suck on a higher level. They don't pay taxes, they treat their workers like shit, they engage in union busting, and they're just squeezing the life out of small local businesses. They're doing everything they can to build a monopoly. And all the while, Bezos is sitting there on his dragon's hoard of gold, spending it on getting jacked and building weird penis rockets. So yeah, Amazon sucks. If you don't want to shop at Amazon for moral reasons, you don't want Prime for moral reasons, that's awesome. That's a large part of why I'm trying to pull myself away from it. But I'm not here to tell you Amazon sucks, don't give them money. For a lot of people, it's just the only reasonably priced option they have. If you live out in the sticks, somewhere rural, it could be your only real option to order a lot of stuff online. But, cards on the table, Amazon is just suffocating the world of buying stuff. And we're seeing the consequences of that now. They've muscled out their competition, which means for a lot of buyers, they're the only game in town. And that means they don't need to offer you good value anymore. They've got you locked down. Nothing you can do. So here we are, at the bottom of the rabbit hole that I fell down while getting annoyed about adverts. And at the end of it all, there's no smoking gun, no big revelation, no catchy soundbite. Amazon Prime is getting worse. But for now, I think the conclusion is that for most people, it's worth having occasionally, not year-round. Just grab a month if you spot something like a good deal on Prime Day or you want to binge a show like Fallout. And then just drop it again when you're done. You want to watch Thursday Night Football? Cool. Grab it for the few months of the year that they're actually showing NFL games. And then drop it again. And please do remember to drop it when you're not using it, because I'm the exact kind of idiot that Amazon relies on. I grab a free month of Prime when I want to buy something, and then I just forget to unsubscribe for another 6 months. Just be smarter than me, basically. But while I think Prime still has some value now, I don't know how much longer that's going to last. There's a brilliant article out there that everybody's already talking about by Cory Doctorow, where he talks about the concept of inshittification, which is a great word. The article's about TikTok, but he uses Amazon as one of his examples, and the concept is pretty simple. Platforms gain their initial success by offering a good service that people actually want. But then once they have that kind of customer base locked in, they set about ruining everything by trying to pump up the profit margins. Eventually, they make their service so unappealing and shit that all the customers leave and the business dies. I know it feels like Amazon is too big to fail, and to an extent they are. They're not just going to implode and disappear overnight. But lots of companies and services that have seemed too big to fail have failed. Do you remember when Facebook was relevant? MySpace? Remember when everyone had a Nokia phone? No? Well, you're not old like me, but I do. And if you're young and saying, who the hell is Nokia? Well, that's exactly my point. They were the iPhones of their day, and now they're gone. Amazon isn't a good website. It's an awful site to browse. Search results are usually filled with ads and Amazon's own products. And now Prime Video is getting worse thanks to the ads. They're chasing that short-term growth by making their service's value proposition just worse. And it's gonna bite them eventually, especially when, as I've shown here, for a lot of people, that value wasn't really there to begin with. Prime looks great on paper, but if you actually stop and think about which parts of it you're using and how often, I think a lot of you will realize you're not getting a great deal. I was already only using Prime Video to watch 1 or 2 shows a year, and now I have to put up with a shitty 50-second unskippable ad at the start of every episode. Honestly, I might just not bother. And once Prime Video's off the table, the rest of that Prime house of cards starts to fall around it. Okay. I'm sick of saying the word Prime now, so I'm done. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. Jeff, I swear to God, I'm gonna deliver my foot up your